know this feature, data loss prevention, exists in Office 365. And again, we're not up here trying to sell you Microsoft software. It just works very well. I know, for example, that what it can do is anytime one of your employees or an employee sends out an email, you can scan the attachments to the email, and also scan the text in the email to make sure that, for example, the employee is not emailing out credit card numbers. Because it knows the format of the credit card number. When it sees that, it denies, it prevents that message from going out, and it sends the administrator an alert so that you're aware that your employees, why are they sending credit card numbers? There's no circumstance under which an employee should be sending that kind of information through email.
Malware, either electronic, wireless payload type, or humans, like the Trojan, is also responsible for data exploitation and fraud. Spear phishing, or whaling, which is Scott will address. Phishing is you're going out and you're trolling for people via email, and you're trying to get them to respond to fake PayPal, emails from fake PayPal senders indicating that you need to reset your password. Please click on this link. That's just phishing. They send those emails out in bulk, and 1% or 0.5% of the world's population clicks on them, and they make some money along the way because they didn't compromise the credit card. Well, spear phishing is you're targeting people. You're not just sending out bulk emails to everybody, you're actually targeting a specific sector of the economy. In this case, that particular email there is targeting an attorney. And these are becoming prevalent. I've gotten 2 of these in the past 3 months in my inbox. And that's called spear phishing. They're targeting specific types of
Profession.
thank you, in the economic sector. Whaling, Scott will talk about in a second, is you go after, as the name describes, big fish. And it gets to be very involved and very specific and very lucrative for benefits. This particular email claims to be from the Zhuanghua Construction Corporation, from Li Hao, an attorney, and he's requesting assistance in bringing a lawsuit in New Jersey. Please respond. And they'll go back and forth. You can respond, and they'll say, you know what, I want to send you a check for $100,000. That's our retainer. That's also the money we need to deliver to another firm that we're doing business with. Please put the money into your trust account and deliver $80,000 to the other person, the other corporation that's concerned. As part of our debt to them, you keep $20,000 for your fee. And all of that happens, then, and this has happened to attorneys in our country, and then all of that happens, and you find out that due to the vagaries of the international banking system, that check took an inordinate amount of time to clear. Notwithstanding that, the bank, being very familiar with the international banking system, let go of the money. And they find out the check is bad. And they come back to you. And you're responsible now for reimbursing the debt. So, attorneys have fallen victim to this. And now so I've gotten 2 solicitations of this sort in the past 3 months in my inbox. Scott, what's waiting?
So whaling is using intelligence gleaned through a variety of methods about the inner workings of a company, such that the whaler, spearfish, knows enough to create very pointed emails, ostensibly from one person in the company to another person in the company, directing them to take some financial action. In a whaling case that I worked earlier this year from the forensic side of things, a company had, the bookkeeper had received an email that appeared very much to be from the CFO of the company, directing them to immediately, without fail, wire $128,134 to this bank in Hong Kong. They got the message at 4:35 the end of the day. This has to be done by COB, very important. She complied immediately, started to initiate the wire. When she was done, she notified the CFO without hitting reply. She just typed up a quick email. I got that wire out before the bank closed, just wanted to let you know it's all taken care of. He flipped because he did not direct any sort of wire transactions. As a matter of fact, he was on vacation at the time, which is another point to the message. They usually pick times when people are on vacations, people who aren't available, that sort of thing. He immediately contacted her and said, what is this? Well, I just followed the instructions in the email that you received. The reason they chose the time, they choose the bank they choose, because they want to hit us at the end of our banking day, which, when you're dealing with Hong Kong, is very close to the beginning of their banking day. As soon as the money is wired, the wire happens, the money is made available. The money mules in Hong Kong remove the funds or wire to yet another bank again, and it is impossible to reverse the transaction because our banking system is now closed. That gives them 12 hours to operate till we wake up again, and now money's gone, it's out of the account. For my part, I was asked to conduct a forensic examination of the CFO and the president's computers because they were the ones that had the information about who was going to be where. And what I found out was that the president, who did a lot of traveling, used wireless access points all over the place. And he loved free wireless access points. So I found that his computer had connected to like 45 of them inside of a 6-month span of time, 45 different ones. And some of them had names like John's iPhone and Comcast Internet. And what we deduced, because there's no malware on the computer, was that when you connect to unknown wireless access points, when you don't use encryption when you connect to them, your data flows out and is readable by whoever is sitting within range controlling that access point. They then see your communications, and with a few high-level communications, quickly figured out who the players were in that company, who the CFO was, what his email address was. They then created an email that looked very close to the one that he was. They changed the domain name. They used like an L instead of an I, something like that, so that it looked to be the real deal email. She thought nothing of it and sent the money out. The moral of that story being, A, beware of the financial transactions, but in this case, do not use free, open, public Wi-Fi that's not encrypted, specifically using a password. I carry a Wi-Fi everywhere I go. I use cellular internet, it's secure.
What's a Wi-Fi?
It's a Verizon cellular, there you go. Verizon cellular modem, basically. And it just connects the same way your cell phone does, through LTE internet, and it provides an access point. I have wireless internet, it's encrypted to my laptop, and I know that when I communicate, I'm not going through anyone else's network. I know I'm not hitting an evil twin, which is an access point that's been programmed to look like the real one. So they'll go to Starbucks, they'll make an access point that's called Starbucks, and they'll boost its signal up so that it's so big everyone gets it instead of the real Starbucks Wi-Fi. And now everything that goes through it is red. Public Wi-Fi is evil. It is a never ever, don't ever. If you have to use it, absolutely immediately, the very first thing you do is to jump into a VPN, which is an encrypted communication with your business, if your business has that. If it doesn't, don't use free open Wi-Fi.
Crypto locker. Have you heard of this? If you're going to, your firm is at risk as we speak. Sean, what is it?
Well, basically, it's software that will get onto a machine, will figure out where all the documents are, and everything are stored on that machine, and will encrypt them using a key that is known only to the person who has invented the software. And then you get a nice little message like this, where they're extorting $300 out of you. If you want your own data back, which has been encrypted, you have to pay them, and usually it's in Bitcoin, which are virtual currency. And you have I mean, that one there, you can see, has a timer right on it, after which point the, whoever designed this will destroy the encryption key, and you will never have your own data ever again. And because they're using encryption, really, good advanced encryption, like Ken talked about, AES, you are never going to take longer than, if you had the best computer that could ever be invented, it would take longer than the entire age of the universe to decrypt, the encryption they're using on these things. So you are just never going to get your own data back if you don't pay the ransom.
This has happened to law firms. It's happened to police departments. And police departments throughout the country, a number of them, have paid the ransom. It's the only way to go back up in operation. If it happens to you, and this is the vector for this, is the delivery mechanism is typically an email. You get an email, someone clicks on a link, you're done. And this thing will search your network. So if you have networked computers in your office, it will go from one computer to the next computer to the next computer, and hit your server, encrypting everything. If it hits your backups and it hits all of your computers in your law firm, you're done. You're not operating anymore. You have paper files, but good luck. You're taking a trip back in time 20 years and try to operate. So what a lot of people do, they pay the ransom. More often than not, they actually will deliver the key back to you that enables you to decrypt everything, but not all the time. So one way to protect against this, we'll talk about that. You have to have good policies in place. Your employees have to be trained not to click on links and emails that they don't recognize. Actually, Sean would just say, don't click on period. Okay. And you have to have AD software, antivirus in place, which probably, or definitely will catch this stuff. The one sure way to avoid this nightmare is to have off-site backups. You make a backup, it could be in the cloud, it could be physical, whatever it is, something that's not connected to your network. Once a week, once a month, is taken off-site and put away, and not connected to anything, so that when a crypto locker hits your network and locks it up, you reload everything, and you're back in business, and you pay them done.
Does it make a difference if you access that particular email with a device rather than your personal computer?
It does.
Yeah, so every individual piece of malware is crafted to run on a particular machine. Now, the latest ones of these are device aware. So if you're tricked to execute it, it can lock up your phone, it can lock up a Mac, it can lock up a Windows machine. But not normally. Normally it's Windows only.
Yeah, almost one of the beauties of having Macs, right? Is that they are, for the most part, not completely immune to all this stuff. Almost all of this is targeted towards Windows machines because Windows machines are the predominant platform in the world. It just makes sense. If you want to make money, you're going to go to where the money is. This is a letter from a law firm, Simper & Kramer, from February 27, 2015, letting their clients know that they've been hit by the crypto locker virus and they've lost all of their workstations. Sorry, your information may be compromised, but we don't have access to it anymore. Okay, this is the solution part. What do you do? Well, you have to look at, first of all, what operating system you're running. And it better not be that one. If you're running Windows XP, you've got problems. Very good. The other, whatever system you're running, you should be running the latest version of it. Okay. In order to have a secure operating environment, you have to make it a business priority. That includes policies and training and awareness and education so that the people who work for your firm understand what security is. If you don't emphasize it, your secretary, your paralegal aren't going to care. It has to be a business priority. It has to be reinforced on a regular basis. Because if all you do is once a year tell people in an email, beware of clicking on links, that's not going to work. They don't know. So it has to be made part of your normal business practice to basically fortify and harden your internal networking and computer structures. Upgrade to Windows 7 or 8 at least, along with applications, and then update. Updates done on a regular basis for this stuff. You must update because they exploit holes as they become available. And if you update to the latest patch, chances are, probably, though not definitely, you'll be protected. Deploy a firewall. So what exactly is a firewall?
Well, a firewall is a device that sits on your network. It's usually, well, it can be software or a hardware device. It sits on your network and prevents a lot of these intruders from getting through. It looks at the kinds of connections that are going in and out of your network and blocks suspicious ones, blocks problem ones, but it's not infallible.
They're inexpensive. Yes, Mr. Hunt?
Question. One of your clients sends you an email. If that client had been hacked, and can the hacker send the email to the client, you press on something that the client's allegedly attached, and now you're in hot water because they penetrated you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there are viruses and trojans that will infect computers and then generate bulk emails that are sent out to everyone in the address book. That's kind of old school virus work.
So you're looking-
When you get it, click on it, you're infected.
So that's not going to help you look for unknown ones. It may be in any attachment any client sends you.
True, but there are antivirus programs, which are now, I mean, if you're running Windows, you have to be running an antivirus program, and you keep them up to date. When I say old school, most of that particular attack that you're mentioning, the Conficker and Code Red from years ago, it's old school virus. That type of attack is going to be picked up by any antivirus program that's kept up to date. Not to say that tomorrow there will be a new version of it that will bypass that, but for the most part, that particular type of attack can do that. Keeping perfect segue. Utilize AV and spyware programs and update them on schedule. If you have a Windows-based computer network, you have to, period. And not just deploy AV, they have to be updated. There are monthly updates which come out with new signatures that will identify new viruses, etc. And you have to be updated just like every computer. Back up your data and have secure off-site, emphasis off-site, backup copies to protect yourself from the event that you're compromised, especially by something like crypto wallet. Create user accounts for each employee and, of course, least privileged user, which we'll talk about in a second. Keep your work and personal email accounts separate. Scott, why would you want to do that?
Well, and this is from a discovery standpoint, why I'm going for it. Work and personal, I take it right down to the device. Because when CodeResnick notifies me, of course I have lost my notification. When CodeResnick notifies me that I'm on legal hold and that I am subject to having my email frozen or my SMS text messages relative to a particular client, I can hand them their own phone back and say, there you go, it's all yours, take it away. However, if I'm using my own device for everything, I have my personal emails and my business emails and my personal SMS and my business SMS side by side, the only way that this is going to get the discovery taken off of it is you hand your device to me, the forensic examiner, who's going to have to claw through everything personal and business to pull off what's relevant to the case and preserve it. So for me, commingling is a no, never, never. And if you do it, you have to realize that at the day is going to come, you're going to have to give up your personal device to perform the discovery as well. I'll do it.
There's also an issue of commingling. If you have personal email and attorney-client privilege email, that's not good. Sean, enforcing computer timeouts and periodic password resets, which I know is near and dear to your heart. Why do you want to do it?
Well, you don't want to have a situation where, and we're talking about here, when you're, like for example, my Mac, unless I tell it not to, after 1 minute of me not touching it, screensaver comes on, when you then try and click on it and do anything, it asks you for a password. I have to type my password in. If I don't type my password in, it wouldn't matter what you did to this computer because the hard drive is encrypted. It wouldn't matter what you did to it, you're not getting any of my data off of it. The same thing is true of your phone, where you have either a fingerprint reader or you have, the PIN code of 4-6-digit, whatever, that you're keying in. If you don't have that set, anybody that has physical access to any of your systems can take whatever they want off of it. How many times have you put your phone down and walk away for a minute? We all do that. It'd be impossible not to. And in that minute, if you don't have some kind of inactivity, mechanism on there to relock it for you, you're never going to remember every single time you put it down to try and turn the password on or whatever. You need to make sure that these systems are automatic and doing it for you. So you want to have those. You want to have an automatic timeout system on especially mobile devices, but really every device that you use. Periodic password resets. I mean that should be pretty obvious. The longer that you're using the same password, the less secure that password is. Especially because human beings have a tendency to have one password, two passwords, or even three passwords. I know almost everyone does this. You split up all of your accounts and you use password 1 for these accounts, password 2 for these accounts. If any one of those passwords is compromised, it's not just one website or one device or one anything that's compromised. It's everything that you use that password for. And if you're never changing those passwords, that can mean an awful lot of your accounts that are now open to being attacked because you weren't resetting the password and weren't using unique passwords.
Someone gains access to your email account because they've compromised your password. Your email account contains banking information, emails from your bank. Surprise, surprise. They go to the bank, they enter in your email address with the password you just used to gain access to your email account, they get in. Okay. Goes on and on. This is a pain in the neck to do, especially with your personnel. I know that in our office, it's an annoyance. As an attorney, for your secretaries, everyone else to have to constantly change their passwords. It's although an annoyance, if you want to maintain a secure computing environment, to protect yourself against lawsuit or exfiltration of data, you have to do it. There are some ways you can get to it that make it really easy to deal with. If you're running Windows XP, as I mentioned, you're non-compliant with your responsibility as an attorney to maintain confidentiality of client information. XP has been officially non-supported since April of 2014. No patches have been released for it. We're not maintaining it anymore. It can be exploited and by virus after virus. They're not going to touch it. If you're running it, and I suspect that some firms in New Jersey still are, get rid of it.
Mind you, this is an operating system that came out in 2001, and there are still a tremendous number of people using it. It's just suicidal.
And to be clear, virus does not mean you have to click a link or go out and download a file. There is drive-by malware called a watering hole attack, and you just need to go to a website and simply type in www whatever, you're infected. If your computer is vulnerable to it, you're infected. And if you have Windows XP, you are vulnerable to every single one of them because it hasn't been updated in 2 years.
A couple of years ago, they put an unprotected Windows XP system on the internet. It was compromised in under 5 minutes.
Doing nothing, just plugged into the internet.
Just root access. They own the machine. They can do anything they want to. 5 minutes. Something else that if you're not doing this, you should do this. This is easy. It's called least privilege user. In short, make sure that whoever has access to the keys of the kingdom should only be you. There should be an admin user. You should only have admin rights on a computer, that computer belonging to you. And frankly, you shouldn't even be logging in as the admin user unless you absolutely have to. Your secretary should not have admin rights to your computer or the network or anything else. Because if her machine gets compromised, the network gets compromised. And that's how breach after breach after breach within recent years has been accomplished. In the case of the Target breach, they gained access to an HVAC contractor's account that had admin privileges on the Target network. Why did he need admin privileges on the Target network? Well, he didn't. But he had them because someone gave them to him. And and off you go. Now, that's another thing that's a pain in the neck, because if you want to install software, I can't do it, I got admin privileges. I want to update my software, I can't do it, I need admin privileges. So a lot of times, it's just easier, just give the privileges. I don't be bothered anymore. To do that, you're running a big risk. It's easy to implement, doesn't cost a dime. And that you can implement everything, not just your computers. More computer security. Encrypting all digital devices at the disk level. Is this hard?
It's very simple. Windows, starting with Enterprise Edition, Windows 7, comes with BitLocker. It's one click. Right click, turn BitLocker on, the entire drive is encrypted. My computer, my business computer, if you open it up and turn it on, you're presented with a black screen with a white flash, and you better enter the password or it's useless. It's useless to me as a forensic examiner. I cannot get into it. It's that 256-bit AES encryption that is not being broken.
Easily, here's an example. BitLocker on Windows, firewall on Mac, and it's really point and click, encrypts the entire drive. Everything done. You log out, and the drive is locked. If you lose it, oh well. Good luck trying to get in. Provided you chose a strong key or password to unlock. And that will protect you, if we get to it, that will protect you from breach like that. Because that's just a brick at that point. You know, you can have tens of thousands of social security numbers and bank account information, but if it's protected by encryption of that strength, there's no real danger. It's like you put it in Fort Knox. Going back, you're putting in a secure vault that is really intended.
This is transparent to you. I mean, it's a few clicks. It's a few clicks there. You know, to turn on Firewall, for example, on Mac. You turn that on, you put in a key, gives you a little backup password in case you forget if you have a problem. And then it just runs in the background, silently encrypting everything, reboots the computer, and there you go, you're good to go. You don't have to do anything that you're not already doing with the machine other than these few clicks just to set it up once.
You do it on your desktops, you do it on your laptops. Using strong passwords, which we've referred to over and over again. Well, one easy way, because people get frustrated with passwords. You know, I have to remember all these damn passwords. How the hell do I do that? You know, because if I need a very long and complex password, well, think about using something like a mnemonic. Construct it out of something that only you will know. Pick your favorite song, your favorite novel. Take the third letter of every fifth word. That sort of thing. Or here's a simple example. I begin work each day at 8:30. Except on Sundays. Except on Sundays. Take the I, the first letter of each word, 8:30, and you come up with I, B, W, D, A, etc., etc. Long, complex password, but not when you actually think about it. You can recall that as need be. Well, when you enter, this is the password checker. You take that particular password and put it into your secure my password. And using, assuming that's AES encryption, it would take 51 million years at 4 billion calculations per second to break that. Okay? Pretty secure. Now, you have a PIN that's 4 characters long. That's worth a couple minutes. The longer your password